Okay, someone asked, okay, what's better, water fasting, dry fasting? What are the significant differences? I've done both. I hate water fasting. Dry fasting is so much easier, and everybody says this after they've done a water fast and then find out about dry fasting, the Phoenix Protocol. They write back and say, my, that was so easy. There's a reason why it is, but there's significant improvements over water fasting by dry fasting that you don't get with water fasting. One of which is you make your own water, endogenous water. When you start turning on the signal to tap your fat cells for fuel, the free fatty acids go into the mitochondria and make water and ATP to keep you alive. Glycerol goes into the liver to make plasma glucose to keep your blood and brain alive. Perfect. But when you parch the parasites, they die off. Parasites, bacteria, all this kind of organisms, these parasitic organisms, they require water and they can't make their own. So in a water fast, you're drinking plenty of water, so you're keeping all your parasites and bacteria alive. You can lose some weight on water fasts. But what kind of weight? What is weight? Weight is fat and muscle. I'd rather lose the fat than the muscle. And that's what happens on a water fast. Because you're drinking all this water, you're not turning on that switch to turn on the fat to release the triglycerides, and you end up dissolving muscle tissue. Because you need to have plasma glucose and ketones for energy and to keep your blood and brain alive. So instead what happens is all your muscles start being ground up for alanine to make ketogenic amino acids, and the glycerol to keep your brain and blood alive. Okay, so you stay alive. The difference is kind of like I described in the book, the first book, Phoenix Protocol. You're in an airplane, you run out of fuel. You can either crash and burn or find a new fuel source. In an airplane, you just switch on the switch, you turn on your fat cells, and off you keep going. On a water fast, because you can't turn on this other fat cell fuel source, you have to start grinding up muscle tissue, which is your airplane. So you keep drilling holes in your airplane just to stay aloft. There'll be a point where it's no longer airworthy. I mean, come on. I mean, it's kind of where it's at here. If you've ever had to try to make muscle and grow muscle, it takes a lot of effort. You got to lift a lot of weight. You got to do a lot of sleep. You have to do a lot of nutrition. Those are great gains because you prevent sarcopenia and osteoporosis, the two leading causes of death as you really get old. So in Neogenesis, I talk all about that. Get the book, check it out. 3-minute workout, build muscle. So yeah, there's the differences. In water fasting, you're drinking plenty of water, you're keeping your parasites and bacteria alive because they require water to stay alive. All parasites do. On a dry fast, you're making your own endogenous water, you starve out and parch out your parasites and bacteria, they end up leaving the system. It's a really interesting thing that happens also, is that when you start making water inside of a cell, it causes a positive pressure inside the cell, which moves things out of the cell into the extracellular matrix, which then goes into the lymphatic system and out of the body. That's that weird orange goo and stuff that you end up getting rid of at the end of a dry fast. So there you go. Save your muscles or don't. It's your decision. And everybody that writes about dry fasting after when they finally do one and they've been doing all these water fasts, they go, wow, is that easy? Because it is easy. You'll find it's a little boring more than anything else. But dry fasting is great. I suggest you consider it. And that's the difference between the two.
Yes?
Can you remind people to subscribe, please, sir?
What now?
Please.
Oh, very well.